There was a time when everything between us was built on a simple handshake. I thought that meant something solid. I was planning to walk away, but then, almost unexpectedly, I was told that leaving wasn't going to be an option anymore. They made it clear that I'd have to stay put. And honestly, at that point, I was ready to move on. My reasoning was simple. I wanted to test myself, see how far I could really go, maybe even become a world champion somewhere else. I felt like I had done all I could where I was. It felt like my role had turned into nothing more than passing the torch to Goldberg. I kept asking myself, what am I still doing here? So, I told them, I'll finish strong, I'll make the next couple of shows special, and then I'm gone. This was right around the time AEW was getting off the ground, late summer, maybe early fall of 2019. They were the new name on the scene, full of energy and opportunity. I could feel that pull, that excitement of doing something fresh. But then came the pushback. He said to me, I can't let you walk away. And I asked him straight, but why not? We had a deal. The catch, of course, was in the fine print. My contract still had another year left on it. We had made a handshake agreement that I thought would stand, but apparently, it didn't mean much once the lawyers got involved. He changed his mind, and I learned a hard lesson that day about business. A handshake in wrestling doesn't always carry the same weight you think it does. I remember saying, all right, I'll honor it. I'll stay. But deep down, I felt betrayed. I had kept my word, he hadn't. Still, that's how things work sometimes. It's not personal, it's business. He told me, I have the paperwork, you can't just go. And I could see it in his face, he was worried. He said, what if you show up in AEW and become their world champion? You know how that would look. And I couldn't help but laugh a little. I said, yeah, that'd make you look pretty foolish, wouldn't it? After that, I basically started counting down the days. I had assumed that when we shook hands, that was the end, that I'd be free. But now I had to make peace with the situation. I told myself, fine. If I'm staying, I'll make it worth it. I'll be in the best shape of my life. I'll give them no choice but to pay me more to stay, or they'll finally let me go and wish me luck on the way out. Either outcome was fine by me. The truth was, I wasn't doing much that mattered at the time. My storylines felt empty, and the creative direction had lost meaning. It wasn't fun anymore. I didn't come up through the independent circuit like many others. Everything I knew about wrestling, the storytelling, the psychology, the art of building a match and a pay-per-view, all of that came from Vince. He was the one who molded the way I thought about wrestling. But around 2018 and 2019, things started to change. He began telling me to do the very opposite of what he had once taught me. That's what threw me off the most. I remember thinking, the only reason I know this idea doesn't work is because you told me it doesn't. But now, suddenly, it was right. He'd just brush it off with, it's wrestling, it changes. It wasn't that I stopped respecting him. The man is a genius, and I learned more from him than I can ever put into words. I'll always be grateful for that. But at some point, even geniuses contradict themselves. And when that started happening more often, it got confusing. You'd go into a meeting, pitch something, and somehow leave the room agreeing that you were wrong, even though you knew you were right when you walked in. Everyone called it the Jedi